Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. In Season 2 of Hacks and Hobbies, we're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life who want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. In this episode, I get to speak with my good friend Eric Didier. I met him through LinkedIn, and he was doing these amazing videos and the quality was always superb. And I reached out to him and I was like, dude, what do you do? It's like, oh, I'm a cinematographer and, I do video. I'm like, dude, this is my passion too. And we should keep in touch. And we've kept in touch over the years, and he's doing some amazing things with video and with storytelling and with brand marketing and helping so many companies out there make their voice heard in the world. And I was like, hey, Eric, I have a platform that we can talk on now. Let's have a conversation. Let me bring you onto the podcast and, share your story with my audience. So, Eric, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. So I see that you've been part of the Misfit Ventures. You've co-founded a lot of companies. But what is the story of Eric that not a lot of people know about? I did notice that you were also a Twitch streamer, and that creates a lot of personality. I mean, you're in front of thousands of people playing your game, but then your face is up there and you start, like, the camera then starts becoming more of a friend because you're talking to your friends and you're getting that feedback. So tell me a little bit of that story, or even before that, like, how did the journey of Eric started?
Yeah, I like the way you put that too, because I think that being a streamer was my way of turning the camera into a friend. And I was definitely not a social person throughout my schooling days, middle school, high school, college, you name it. I just wasn't really a social person. So I took it to online sources, whether that was through Twitter, whether that was through YouTube, Twitch, you name it. And for me, it was really like, I know that I need to build these social skills. And I know that I need to find a way to build these social skills, but I don't like talking to people. People scare me. So I'm going to talk to a camera while I'm doing something that I like, which is video games. So I wanted to be a YouTuber initially, and that kind of, it had its ups and downs, but I just definitely wasn't mature enough. I wasn't making good enough content. And now I know it, but at the time I'm like, why isn't this happening? But went to Twitch, which was Justin TV back at the time. That's how long ago that was. But built a little bit of a community there, and then really started to take off there. And I haven't been active as of late, but I learned a lot about production and talking to a camera and talking to people and handling life situations that the more I live my life, the more I'm realizing those were kind of skills that I knew I needed to learn, but now that they're actually applying themselves in real life, it's like, oh, I mean, I thought I was just playing video games, but it turns out I was doing so much more.
Mm-hmm. No, that's really, really interesting the way you put it. So having that personality to be on camera and interacting with people, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of understanding the human mind. And now that you're playing a video game, and it's a lot easier to talk to other people that are in video game, right? Because you have a common theme to talk about, a common topic to talk about. And that's what people, they let their guard down, because then they'll tell you everything that they know about the game. And having that through, a video conversation over the internet, you'll start seeing people for their true purpose. Like, you'll see, okay, who's actually here because they love what they're doing or playing, they're actually enjoying watching this game, versus somebody who's just there to post their link, oh, check out my website or check out my, right? So you'll see those people and you're like, oh, that's really interesting. And you start noticing that. So it's really cool, man. I love it.
And what's interesting too is, like, I used it to make friends, right? Like, before I started the business, I was definitely not connected with my local area. So, like, didn't really even know anybody there. Like, before I started this company, I would argue that I had more friends and phone numbers that I like, people that I would text and talk to on a regular basis from streaming on Twitch than actually.
So you built friends through Twitch. You had their actual phone numbers and you're talking to them and talking about those games, of course, right? And the latest game that's happening and you're creating human connections, and I guess then you become more social because now you're talking about something that you love. Nice. All right, so what's the next step? What happened next after you're like, okay, I'm doing this video? Did you go on any other platform? I mean, you said you tried YouTube.
No, you're good. I
Yeah.
can take it. So like I did I streamed on Twitch, and I like kind of on again off again with YouTube through a few different channels, and I found different strokes of success in certain ways with all of them. But it was really then like I was invested in the gaming community through streaming on Twitch. And then I got, esports was just taking off at that time too. So then I got invested in esports, and through streaming on Twitch, I was already creative, but I really like started to realize that I was a creative while I was streaming on Twitch, like whether that was changing the way the layout of my stream looked, or changing how people could interact with the stream. And like my mind just started to come up with all these different creative ideas. And then from that, I was like, well, I already have this camera, why don't I try taking pictures or taking videos with this? And then I started taking photography, and I started to gain influencer deals through the community that I had on Twitch. And with that, I'm like, well, I have these products. Why don't I just start taking pictures of them too and use that as content? And then
Nice.
I started to get more influencer deals, started to get a larger community, and kind of piggyback off of all of those things as they were happening. And then I became a kind of a full-time photographer essentially through that. I had a few contacts through the Major League of Gaming, and I'm like, I'm just gonna, without even knowing that it was the Gary V way, like I just
Yeah.
offered my services. Like, can I just like I will drive 8 hours and pay for my hotel and room and board and everything. Just get me a media pass. They're like, yeah, okay, I can do that. So they were like, it's a smaller event. There's really not much commotion going on. Just come, whatever you get. If we like it, we'll see what happens. So I was able to get another gig post after that, and then from that, I just really was like, all right, well, I very much love taking photos and videos, so I want to
Yeah.
find a way to do this full time.
Nice, nice. No, man, that is the Gary Vee way, right? You just do what you love and just keep doing it. Enough times people start noticing, and you've got a great service that you can offer and bring to the world. And very cool. Yeah. So to share little bit of my thing, I've been helping people and create websites in that fashion. Like, hey, I can set that up for you. I've done this a million times. It's no big deal. And so I'm still finding, like, I'm still fine tuning. Okay, what audience do I want to reach? How do I get to the next level? Because I recently also left my job, not also, but I left my job because I just wanted to focus on this thing. I wanted to
Yeah.
focus on podcasting, focus on doing what I love at video production. And we're shooting a short film about beekeeping right now as
Okay.
part of the Make a Movie in a Month. And it's been pretty exciting. So after you gain influence and you gained these deals and you realize you're a photographer and videographer, how did you start? Well, I know how, like, but how did you get into, like, who introduced you to LinkedIn?
Yeah. So Q, who's our CEO, introduced me to LinkedIn initially. I had been on LinkedIn, and I thought it was, just this business platform. I'm not a business person. It's just
Mhm.
everybody that deals business does businesses on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. And I was like, I had posted on there a few times. I had a profile, but it wasn't really completed. It wasn't anything like that. So then I got to meet Q, and he had been following me because of my work for a little bit. And he's like, just come sit down with me at this coffee shop.
Yeah.
We'll chat. And I'm like, all right, that's weird. And looking back at it, what's interesting is that what he was talking to me about at that coffee shop was definitely something that he could easily have charged me his going rate for, and I would
Sure.
have absolutely turned it down. I didn't have that kind of money. So
Mhm.
the lessons that he taught me that day were just absolutely invaluable. And he's like, just make a LinkedIn video. He's like, I know you make videos. I know that you're not afraid to make a video. So like, make a video. No, like, why on LinkedIn? Like, I don't like making a video. To me is second nature. Like, it doesn't matter how, who, what, when, where, why, whatever. But like, what's it about LinkedIn? It's like, video just came out. There's nobody on it. There's a void that can be filled. I'm already getting thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views on this platform for basically just talking
Mhm.
about what's happening today. Like there really wasn't like a here's how it should be done. There wasn't
Right.
really any rules. So I made one with him, and he asked me a question that he had gotten from a podcast that he had been on, and tagged him in it. And 5,000 views later, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm getting way more interactions on here than every other platform put together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I can like this. I like talking to people online. Like, let's keep this going.
Nice. Those are some amazing tips. I mean, yeah, and that's what I heard when I was like, okay, we'll just do LinkedIn video. It's fresh, just people talking about it, and it's not a lot of. I mean, it's when they say it's really lonely up on the top, it's really true, and that's where this was. LinkedIn was, and
And they have what 50 million active users or some absolutely asinine number, and it's like,
yeah,
well, no one less than like 0.5% are doing video. So it's like
yeah,
you've got all of these potential interactions that you can have, and people that don't know video yet or don't know how to make a video or don't want to make a video,
hmm,
they're just absorbing right now. So it's
they're
like
just absorbing. Yeah,
that's the void. Let's fill that void. Let's be the first. Let's be the top. It
yeah,
is lonely, but when you're together with people that also
exactly.
are there, it's definitely a lot better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. So some of the things that I noticed you were doing from your videos, you're like, all right, go over here and you can download these cool Premiere downloads for transitions and whatnot. And I never get a chance to get those because I'm not as much into Premiere. I was like, I'm more focused on Final Cut Pro. But that was really cool. I mean, that showed that you were a giver. There's two types of people in the world. There's givers and takers, and then there's matchers, right? Givers
Yeah.
just give, give, give. They don't ask for anything at all. And I, s- I saw that.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. In fact, I'm recording this on my phone. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go ahead, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
That person in you, and I was like, this guy, he's gonna make it to a very, he's gonna make real good stuff because of his nature, his mentality, and his heart. It was just really welcoming to see people that shared similar mindset as myself. And those are the type of people, because being giver is so easy. You just give, and those are the type of people that we're seeing on LinkedIn too, right?
Right.
You see a lot of givers, they're just giving. And anytime there's somebody who's not a giver, you immediately know, okay, this person is just here for their own motives. And that was really interesting to me. So nice, man. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
So, what's something that you're passionate about that you haven't gotten to do? So, that's one of the questions I ask. What is one hobby that you wish you got into that you never got a chance?
There's a few light ones. I used to play guitar. That would be fun to get back into.
Mhm.
I almost became a personal trainer for fitness, but I just never took the test. I just never thought that I could retain all of that information of,
Yeah.
you know, all of the terminologies and things.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I can make somebody a workout plan, but I'm not going to, flexion, all like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember all that. So I just never took the test. So I would say those are a few hobbies. Like, I mean, really, as far as hobbies go, like gaming is kind of where I've always been, and
Mhm.
definitely don't have as much time to game now that we
Right.
own the company. But I'm finding more of that time management of, okay, we all have, we're starting to not wear all these different hats within the
Mhm.
company. Now we're starting to kind of delegate properly, and it's showing success. So
Yeah.
now I think we're all kind of getting a little bit more freedom with what we choose to do. And can get back on Twitch soon here, I'm hoping,
Nice.
and
Nice.
start to actually schedule time out to do that. Because I think for those platforms specifically, you have to be on a schedule because then people know, and it definitely does show benefit.
Exactly. Very cool. So you love games, and so in that vein, I guess this is something in line, but what would be your favorite movie or TV show? Or if you
Ooh,
wrote a book?
that's a good question. It's weird because I can't watch movies anymore because everything that happens in a movie or even a TV show,
Mhm.
I critique it as a
Oh,
person
yeah.
that makes video. So
Oh,
like, I don't know if you've heard of the show The Goldbergs.
I have.
There was a scene in The Goldbergs where the dad came in from like the garage or whatever, and he closed the door behind him, and the door made no noise when it closed. And I was watching with my mom at the time, and I look at her, I'm like, did you just catch that? And she's like, what? I'm like, the door closed and it didn't make a noise. And she's like, I'm just not watching anything with you anymore. You just ruined everything. So like, I find it really hard to watch movies because I'm constantly like, not critiquing, like to
Mhm.
pick on directors
Yeah.
and things, but like absorbing, like, okay, why is it lit this way? Why is the lamp on in the background? What does that apply to lighting on the face and on the subject and things? So a lot of movies, like I'm a big fan of like Tommy Boy. That's just been my favorite movie from forever. I watch a lot of animated shows, I guess, because that's probably the only place where I don't critique things,
Yeah, you can.
So
Animation.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I lie.
Tommy Boy. Should we put Tommy Boy down?
Yeah, probably would. Yeah, that works.
Awesome. All right. What is your favorite superhero?
I've always been a fan of Gambit from the X-Men series.
Okay.
Like, there's no real reason other than
Yeah.
like he's got a deck of cards and he
Yeah.
can throw one and it explodes. Like, that's just always been awesome. Like Wolverine can like adamantium and recover and all this stuff,
Yeah.
but I can throw an ace of spades and it's gonna blow up at this person. Like, why not? That's awesome.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'll think about that one. I haven't seen Gambit in action because I never watched TV.
They don't give him the appreciation that he
They
deserves.
don't. Yeah. He's not that. And we did hear about a Gambit movie, I think, some time ago.
Yeah,
But
I don't know when that's coming out, if it is.
all right. If you were a board game, what would it be?
Chess, 100%.
That's good.
Not only did I stream chess, and that's where I ironically found the most success streaming on Twitch was
Oh,
through
really?
chess, but I just like the strategy. Like life is knowing what's ahead of you, but at the same time knowing where you are.
Yeah.
So like you have to analyze where you're at, where your opponent's at, which you can metaphorically relate that to just life around you that happens to you, but
Yeah.
you have to know where you're at, where you can go, how you can approach things, and look at it from that way.
Absolutely. No, that's a really good point. Another question that how do you prepare for your day?
It's not as good as a lot of people's are. For me, it's just a matter of like waking up and enjoying my day. So like I'll wake up, I'll have a shot of espresso. I enjoy the making of the espresso and the tapping and all that. And then I'll watch YouTube videos. It seems so cliche and it seems like a waste of time, but like I'm always absorbing what other people are making, what's kind of the hot topic.
Mm-hmm.
Why are people making it? I like seeing people produce things that I can see their evolution.
Yeah.
I like listening about topics that I'm interested in. So I just find a lot of enjoyment in just finding out how other people produce.
That's really good. So in that vein, since you're a creator and a producer, right? And you're absorbing on and critiquing how other people are doing stuff. The one question it's been on my mind because there's a lot of people posting, videos on LinkedIn, and they'll tag you like, "Hey, Eric, check out my video." And I've been tagged multiple times, and like I feel really bad that I don't go on these videos and check out what the video is about and comment or even interact or engage. Like I feel really bad, but I just don't have the time. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, do you certainly have to all the time? Like I've stopped watching videos on LinkedIn. I've stopped watching. I mean, I'll watch YouTube video here and there because they have something to teach me. but a lot of the times I'm not engaging with the people that are like tagging me, or and I know they have really good things to say. Like, how do you deal with that, or do you face that problem?
I definitely do. I think there's two types of people that tag you in videos. I think there's people that tag you in videos because they're genuinely interested in what your opinion is, or there's people that tag 800 people in the comment section because they know that if they comment, it'll get them a lot of clout. So like, if I get tagged, like I'll always go through my notifications, and especially now, like there's the 21 challenge, there's the live video challenge, like there's all of these things going on. So I definitely have to be cognizant of one, I'm being tagged in, and who's tagging me, and are they doing 21 challenge? Is it a live video? Is it a, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if I go to a post that I'm tagged in and I see my name just in a list of 80 other people, I'm just not going to engage with it, because then I know immediately you don't really care about what my opinion is. You just know that I'm a person that can comment and get your video on my feed, essentially.
Yeah.
So like, there's definitely a give and take to it. I think like, I can't confirm this, but I feel, and I've noticed that like the LinkedIn algorithm, like if I take 3 people in a video, if those 3 people comment, then LinkedIn's like, okay, well, not only is this video like a video that people are interested in, but the people that are being tagged in this video that the creator wants to engage with this video or are including in this video are also engaged on it.
Yeah.
Then they know, okay, this is a video that does have something to say. We can push out. The people that are tagged in it and engaged with it. So we know that then it's a post that everybody should be seeing, because the people that are important to this video through the copy are also engaged with it. So
that's really
it's kind of a give and take. Like if I see my name in the list of video, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
No. So
but like if it's like a genuine thought, or like if somebody in the comments like, this is my, like, I will never, like if somebody sends me a video and it's like, hey, here's my first video, or hey, I want your opinion on this, I will always watch it, always engage. But like if I just see I'm in a thread of 80 in the comments, I'm never ever gonna.
That's what I've been noticing. I'm like, okay, I just don't have the time, right? I can't really engage. I'm just included in a list of 10, 15 other people, and it begins with, I think these people might enjoy this content. Like, I know it's like gaming the system, trying to game the system, but people see through that, right? And I'm sure a lot of other people are noticing that too. Like, okay, this is not really happening. All right, thank you. Because I've been struggling with that for the past, month and a half. I'm getting tagged on every single video, and it's really hard, having had a full-time job and commuting and trying to make my own content and do edit my stuff. It's like, okay, thank you for that confirmation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, man. So you mentioned you started a few companies and on LinkedIn a lot. So where can people find you?
Yeah, so people can find the company Urban Misfit Ventures. Essentially, how that looks is Urban Misfit Ventures is the umbrella company. We have IEEG, which is kind of our agency, if you will, and then we have MK Misfits, which is our events company. So it looks like a lot of mess, but it is definitely an organized mess, if anything. So Urban Misfit Ventures is where you can find us. You can search us on any platform. I think on Instagram and Facebook we're MK Misfits, just because that's just kind of more appropriate to the content that's being produced for it. But you can look us up there. You can find me at Dids Live on anything, or Eric Didier if you want to search me on LinkedIn. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. I'll be sure to include all of those links on the show notes. And I'm also working on a profile view on the website for each of the guests that I have. So all of your links will live over there, and people can reach you and get to know a little bit more about Eric Didier. Thank you so much for your time, man.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Take care.
You as well.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the episode. Thanks so much for listening to our guest on this episode. Please send me an email at junaid@hacksandhobbies.com to tell me what you loved about our guest today. You could find links mentioned in this episode on the hacksandhobbies.com website.